Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Nora Sakal, your lovely host. This is Our World Today, a podcast where we address issues that matter. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. Please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to Out Media, OWT Media on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. Share this video to all your friends. And thank you for taking out your time and joining us today. Today's topic, by the way, we are working on the 15 invaluable laws of growth. Today's topic, we are going to be talking about the law of the mirror. The law of the mirror. Yes, that is the law number. Dun, dun, dun. That's law number 3, the law of the mirror. So I'm just give you a few minutes to share, subscribe, like, get your paper, get your pen, get your notebook. We talked on the law of awareness. We talked on the law of reflection. And today we are talking on the law of the mirror. That is the 3rd law from the book, 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. So let me give you a few minutes. Law number 3. So you can share. So go over to our Facebook, like and subscribe. Go over to our YouTube channel, Out Media, like and subscribe, and stay connected for more videos. So let's talk about law 3, the law of the mirror. What is the law of the mirror? The law of the mirror pretty much is telling you that you must see value in yourself and add value to yourself. Again, you must see value in yourself and add value to yourself. In pretty much talking about, again, self-development, developing yourself, right? Developing yourself. Developing yourself. So far, I don't know if I'm sorry, we're talking about the law of consistency, law 5. Something didn't add up. Something was not right. We're talking about the law of consistency. I guess I have to go back and talk on the law of the mirror for me to bring that up today. Someone needs to hear about the law of the mirror. We're talking about the law of consistency, actually, law 5. That's right. Motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you going. I was like, why does this sound so familiar? I feel like I just talked on this and it wasn't adding up. I'm so sorry about that. But motivation, law 5, the law of consistency. In other words, growth is not an event. It is an intentional, consistent act. I can tell you that firsthand that whatever I've not been consistently doing has not produced the results I want to see. And whatever I have been consistently doing, I've definitely seen progress. I've definitely seen change and transformation. I've definitely seen growth. I've definitely seen the results I want to see. Now we're talking about the law of consistency. How do we grow in consistency? How do we grow in consistency? The previous chapter we talked on was the law of reflection. And that was saying that we have to intentionally create time. Not saying, okay, I'm going to get to it, or I'm going to do it, or I might get to it. No, but intentionally creating time to reflect on us, reflect and look within us to see to it that we are looking at the growth process, and we are looking at the changes that needs to be done, and we are looking at what needs to be done. I feel like I'm really loud. I feel like my mic is really loud. If I'm really loud, please let me know. But yeah, the law of reflection, taking our time intentionally to reflect. Now, how do we grow in consistency? Do you know what you need to improve on to grow in consistency? Part of growth in consistency is, again, reflection. The successful person has the habit of doing things that failures don't like to do. See, the successful person doesn't like to do them either, but his dislike is subordinated to the strength of his purpose. That was a quote given by E.M. Gray. That was a quote given by E.M. Gray. So take our time to just reflect a little bit. Reflect, and think about, you know, the change that needs to be done, right? Do you know how you are supposed to improve? How are you supposed to improve? Do you know how? Do you know where? Do you know what you're supposed to improve on? All right. See, to grow, most people need knowledge. They need experience and some coaching, right? And you have to match your motivation to your personality. See, if you in order for you to match your growth to your personality, you have to understand the type of personality that you have, the type of person, what the type of being that you are, right? Um, Not everyone has the same personality strength. Some people are outgoing and fun. Some people are indoors. And I truly believe that you could be whatever you want to be. You just need to make up your mind to do it. You can choose to go out there and have fun if you want to, or you can choose to stay home if you want to. You can choose to make up your mind to do the things you want to do if you want to, or you can choose to not do the things you want to if you want to. It just depends on what you want and how you want to go. It's about just positioning your mind, right? And start with simple stuff, right? Small disciplines repeated with consistency every day lead to great achievements gained slowly over time, right? Also, discipline is really a muscle to be developed. It's not something that happens overnight. It's something that needs to be developed. So and also you have to be patient. So in order for you to improve, you have to grow in knowledge, experience, and maybe even coaching. You have to match your motivation to your personality. And remember that not everyone has the same personality strength. So don't look at your friend and try to do what your friend is doing and come to find out you guys don't have the same personality strengths. You know what I'm saying? Know who you are, know what you're good at, know what you're not good at, and figure out what you are good at and focus on that as you build what you're not good at over time. Next, you want to start with little stuff, simple stuff, because small disciplines, you have to start with small disciplines, because small disciplines repeated with consistency every day leads to great achievements, and that is gained slowly over time. Again, discipline is really a muscle that you must learn to develop. It's like saying you have a gut. You want to get rid of that pork belly. You want to get rid of that tummy. And so you would say, okay, every day I'm going to do sit-ups. Every day I'm going to do push-ups. Every day I'm going to, work on that stomach, and you wake up every day and you dedicate 15-30 minutes every day, or you start with 15 minutes or 10 minutes and then you're building up over time. The next thing you know, you're doing push-ups and sit-ups, and maybe you were not even able to do that before, you know. And that helps, and it builds over time, and you develop that tenacity, you develop that muscle. And also you have to be patient through the process of growth and consistency. um you don't want to, in being patient, you don't want to use the excuse of, failing for losing discipline. No. Practicing discipline will grow consistency. You just have to practice it. The moment you fail is the moment you stop. You just have to learn to practice it. And then also, remember that you would probably you would miss 100% of the goals you don't set. So unless you set a goal, you really are not aiming for anything. You're not aiming for anything. You have to learn to be intentional about small things, big things, whatever it is. Once you are intentional about it, and then you start being consistent in trying to see to it that you actually actively pursue it. But until you set a goal in your mind, then there's nothing you can do, because then you don't have something to do. You don't have no accountability. You don't have anything that you're pursuing. Number 8, you want to value the process. In our instant access world, process is a victim. We want instant results. We want things done immediately. We want to see the end product immediately. What we don't understand is there is a process in the development of everything. I am a victim of not valuing the process, but it's a mindset that I'm transforming and changing, because I'm so caught up. And just like a lot of us, we want to see with the instantaneous result, right? And so we have to learn to value that process. You are exactly where you should be, given all that you have done to get there. The real question now is that what habits do you need to change over time to make the difference? That's the real question. And then another thing you want to ask, in consistency, do you know why you want to keep improving? Because if you don't have a reason why you ought to or you should keep improving, you're just not going to be motivated to want to keep improving. You're not going to have a reason to want to keep improving. You're not going to feel like, you should keep improving. So the question now is, do you know your why? What is your why? Why do you want to keep improving? See, this is a question of your own motives and life's purpose. If you can figure out what your life's purpose is and figure out your reason why you're doing the things you're doing, then you get to understand why there is a need for constant improvement, for constant growth. How much responsibility you have based on your purpose, determines how intentional you are about growth, about advancing, about constant development of oneself, right? So you want to take the why test. You can take the why test to figure out what your why is, your reason. Do you constantly procrastinate on important tasks? Why? Why? If you do, why? Do you require coercion to do small chores? You need to be pampered and pushed and encouraged and talked to. And, why? Why do you need that? Do you perform duties just to get by? Or are you like, okay, I want to see these results, so therefore this is exactly what I'm going to do? Why do you do that? Do you constantly talk negatively about your work? Are you one that you need validation? Are you one that you need validation to? I'm sorry, I have a question here. What ways can you develop discipline? Okay. Hey, Deja. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to get to that. Exactly what I'm addressing are ways to get discipline. Let me go through the process, then I would address your question. Thank you. I'll get to that in a minute. Thank you. So, do you constantly talk negatively about your work? Do you do you do efforts of your friends to encourage you, irritate you instead of, you know, instead of encourages you? You know, which one is it? Why does it feel that way? Do you start projects and abandon them, or are you the one that you make sure you see the end of it? That was a trait I had to change. I knew in order for me to get the results I wanted to get, I had to complete what I started, because I had a weakness of, if of starting and stopping. When I started something and I don't get the results when I feel like I need to see the results, I just abandon it. See, I don't go back through the process to reflect on what went wrong. I don't take the time to grow intentionally. And that affected me so much. But when I had to change this habit, I had to change this attitude so that way I can improve. I saw drastic results. I was able to say, okay, instead of creating a plan, I had a plan A through Z. Okay. I had a plan A. If plan A didn't work, I had plan B. Plan B didn't work, I had plan C. Plan C didn't work. And all those plans were all different from each other. But then I re strategized, right? I still have a plan A through plan Z. But my plan my plan B is that if plan A does not work, I go back and figure out why it's not working and fix it, and it takes me back to my plan A. So my plan B is fixing my plan A. My plan C is figuring why plan A and plan B didn't work and fix it back. And everything takes me back to my plan A, because I realized that once I take my focus off of what my end goal is, and I start to try to find a different reason that is contrary to my purpose, guess what? That's distraction. And I'll find myself looking away from what I'm actually supposed to be doing. Now I'm no longer functioning at the things that I'm good at. I'm no longer functioning at the things that I'm called to do. I'm no longer functioning. I'm no longer operating at my best. I'm just trying to get by. I'm just trying to do something to get by. And that was not effective, but I became intentional. I knew that my plan A had to do with my purpose. So my plan B was making sure that I did everything I can possibly do to see that my plan A comes to pass. And if it fails, I go to plan C. Figure out A and B and fix it. C fails, I go to plan D. Figure out A, B, and C and fix it. By the time you're getting the plan B and C, you should have a system, a structure in place that you just need to correct and fix up in order for you to get the results that you want to see, right? So I had to work on that, and that attitude of mine. I had to work on improving that area in order for me to keep growing, right? And then also you want to see, do you avoid self-improvement opportunities? Are you one that when you see that there are opportunities that are coming by that might point out, and and a lot of people do this because they do not want to confront or face the reality of what they are going through and the weaknesses they have. That's just the truth of the matter. A lot of people avoid the reality of what they're feeling emotionally, the reality of what they're feeling financially, physically, because they don't want to face the truth, because the truth might be painful. But the thing is, until you are able to work on those areas and fix those things, then you can't truly transform them. You're going to keep waking up to the same problem. You're going to keep waking up to the same situation, right? So you must confront those situations by jumping on opportunities for self-improvement. If somebody gives you constructive criticism, instead of first off asking, who do they think they are? What do they think they're going to do? Da, 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 da. Ask yourself, okay, why is this person saying this? How true is the statement that they made about me? Are they just assassinating my character, or is it truly, are they truly right? Are they correct about their assessment of me? When you do the self-evaluation, remember, I'm not saying that you should go by people's opinion of you. No, but you should be open for constructive criticism. That's what I'm saying. So when you assess and you evaluate that opinion and option, you ask yourself, okay, if it's something that needs to be changed, change. If you see, maybe people have events on self-help, self-improvements, and what yada yada yada, whatever it is, you have to be so true and so realistic with yourself. The only person that can be so true to you is you. Nobody else, no one else knows you more than you except God, but no one else knows you more than you do. You know exactly how you feel when you are hurt, when you are happy, when you are confused. You know how you feel when you wake up, when you go to bed. You see what I'm saying? So take and jump on opportunities for self improvement, because therein you now grow to be better. You grow to develop. You see what I'm saying? That transformation come in. Number 3, on knowing your why. Has quitting become a habit? Do you want to play chopsticks or conduct an orchestra in your own life? What is it? What is the plan you have for you? Do you quit easily? Because the truth is, if you keep quitting, just because you keep quitting does not mean you're not going to keep facing issues or events that are uncomfortable. So do you keep quitting? Has it become something that's normal to you? Even the small right choices over time becomes big victories. And then you want to ask yourself, do you know when you are supposed to improve yourself? Do you know when? When do you think it's time to change? It's time to improve. When? Take a look at your watch. When does someday strike to you? See, life change must occur daily. One thing we can never have control over, as a matter of fact, 2 things we can never have control over is time and change. Never. You don't have control over it, but you have control over how you manage it, how you utilize your time on a day-to-day basis, how you change yourself on a day-to-day basis, and manage how you change, manage your changes on a day-to-day basis. You have the determining factor for that. You have the control over that. So reflect on yourself and think about 2 habits that you can change, you can work on changing on today. And when you work on those 2 habits, give yourself a time frame. How long do I want to take to see that this transformation come? What do I need to do? And be intentional about that transformation and that change, and be consistent. And once you're consistent with it, guess what? Celebrate the victory. Again, I always use this example, making your bed. It's a habit. If that's something you want to work on it and make that change. It's a transformation. It's a bad habit that you want to change. See, growth is an amazing process. It really is. Because sometimes you look back and you say, man, I've come this far. Yay, me. I have come this far. Yay, me. you know? And, sometimes it's not only about setting goals, it's also about being growth conscious. It's not just setting goals, because sometimes you can set goals and never get to do them. But when you are intentional about growing, it's a difference. So maybe it's time to even stop setting goals. There is a difference between setting goals and being growth oriented. See, being goal conscious and being growth conscious. See, goal consciousness focuses on the destination, while growth consciousness focuses on the journey. Goal consciousness motivates you and others, while growth consciousness matures you and others. Goal consciousness is seasonal. You set a goal for this moment, for today, for this week. But with growth consciousness, it is lifelong. You want to see constant transformation and constant change. So it's a lifelong process. It's not just a one time thing, it's a lifelong process. With goal consciousness, it challenges you. But with growth consciousness, it changes you. It comes as a permanent change. Goal consciousness stops when you reach that goal, when that goal is achieved. So if your goal is to lose 10 pounds, once you lose that 10 pounds, guess what? You stop. But with growth consciousness, you growth consciousness, it keeps you growing beyond the goal. So your goal is not just to lose 10 pounds, but to be healthy and be fit and be active. See, goal consciousness waits for growth to come. But with growth consciousness, what it does is that it takes responsibility to grow. With goal consciousness, it learns only from mistakes. But with growth consciousness, it learns before mistakes. I want to learn how to succeed and not fail. I want to learn how to be the best version of myself. I don't have to wait to hit rock bottom before I can break through and come forth and see the fullness of me. No, I can start working on that now because that's what I desire. With goal consciousness, it depends on good luck. Well, let me set these goals and do this and hope this happens. No, but with growth consciousness, it relies on hard work. I'm going to get up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get up. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get up. I'm going to be intentional. See, so your potential is not it's not an event. It's not a goal. It's not a product. Your potential is a constant journey. A constant journey of discovery, a constant journey of growth, and a constant journey of insight. That's what your potential is. And you also have to be constantly productive. See, John C. Maxwell talks about, says that even the greatest composers didn't wait for an inspiration. I always say inspiration, motivation is total BS. Because waiting to be motivated and waiting to be inspired, trust me, it's not going to take you anywhere. Ain't gonna take you nowhere. I'm sorry, yeah. It's not going to take you anywhere. If you're waiting for motivation, waiting to feel like it, you are never ever going to do it. 90% of the time when you wake up, there is something that is overwhelming. I'm not saying you can't go through the process of thinking and, being emotionally drained sometimes, but it is knowing how to channel that emotion and controlling that emotion, to be effective and productive for you. There are days I wake up, I don't feel like it. I just don't feel like it. But I know for a fact it's not my feelings that's going to get the work done. I know that for a fact. My feelings are not going to get the work done. Absolutely not. So what I do is I wake up and I motivate myself. I tell myself, today I'm going to do this. Today I intend on doing this. And I make sure that, hey, I get it done. I'm not waiting for some, motivation and milk and cookies to say, okay, girl, go ahead. You can do this. No, I have to tell myself, I can do this. I am going to do this. And I plan on doing this today or whenever the time frame is. So motivation is total BS. You don't wait for inspiration. You don't wait to feel like it to get it done. You got to get it done. Waiting is often merely the excuse we use for not producing. See, I'm waiting for the right time. I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for that. It's an excuse. Surrounded by fear, surrounded by doubt, surrounded by uncertainty and confusion sometimes. But being consistent is the answer for productivity. When you wake up every day, you change your habit, you keep doing the same thing every day. You find six things. Six, my mentor told me that every day I should have six things that I'm working on, six goals that I set every day for myself. And I those goals I set from most priority to least priority. But every day there should be six different goals. And I wake up with the intent of making sure that I'm getting those goals done. And once I get those goals done, whatever I don't get to it, I push it over to the next day. But by the time I get to the don't get to it, I've gotten my three major goals done and my three minor goals. Even if I don't get to do it, it's okay because it's at minor goals. And it's so effective. At first, I was not consistent. I was not consistent. I'll do it today. I don't do it tomorrow. I'll do it the next day. Some weeks I don't get it done at all. But then I became intentional. And now, before I even go to bed, I'm thinking about those goals. It became a habit because I became consistent. And it's so effective because then you see productivity, you see results. Some days, in fact, I wake up every day, I feel fulfilled because the goals that I set, I get done. The only thing that might not get me feeling fulfilled is if I don't have an answer to a problem I'm going through. And best believe I'm going to get to that answer because I told myself I have to find the answer to this problem. Come sun, come rain, come high water. So don't put an excuse of waiting for motivation to get the work done. See, Michael Angier, I believe is her name, said, if you develop the habit of success, you'll make success a habit. That's very true. There is a habit of success. Being constantly productive does not mean grinding away at work. It simply means that the consistent person is the productive person. That's what it simply means. So you have to learn to apply the law of consistency over time. Value the process. You have to learn to align your methods of motivation with your personality. You know, you can find one of the excellent methods of for personality profiling. Find that and align it with. Remember, consistency is a muscle to be exercised. So you have to do it every day. You want to build that six packs, you have to do it every day. Seek as many whys as you can for motivation because your why gives you the reason to get up every day. You have to remember and recall immediate benefits and long-term outcome of your activities. Ask yourself, how would I feel if I get this done? How would I feel, or what difference does it make in my life if I get this done? It's not a matter of how many times you try and fall. As long as you fall forward, keep trying. Right? So practice the law of consistency in your own life by having a specific scheduled time for preparing for each week's task. Set a weekly task and practice it. Set a weekly task and be intentional about it. That way, um, you can see progress and productivity as a result of being consistent. Thank you very much. Let me get to Deja's question. He said, "What ways can you develop discipline?" To develop discipline, you can start, again, remember, start small. It does not happen overnight. Discipline is not something that you get up overnight and you start doing. You just get to it and you get it done. Boom, in and out. No. It's like, again, a muscle that you need to build. It's something that you take over time. For example, if you have an unhealthy habit like, um, let's say, if you are someone that is a heavy eater, you eat a box of pizza a day. You can start small. Hey, instead of eating a box of pizza that has maybe 6 slices in the box, you can say, okay, I'm only going to have 4. Well, I'm only going to have 5 today. See, you cut out 1. Or you say, hey, I'm only going to have 3 today. And the next thing you know, you start breaking it down, breaking it down, breaking it down. Or if you're someone that you don't have a healthy lifestyle in terms of exercising, and you say, okay, I'm going to walk 10 minutes a day, just 10 or just 5 minutes a day, right? And you start by walking 5 minutes a day every day. You say, every evening, I must do 5 minutes. You start small and you build it up. So ways to build discipline is by being intentional about small tasks and being consistent about that task. You can start with something as small as making your bed. Tell yourself, I'm going to wake up every day and make up my bed in the morning. When I get out of bed, as long as I'm not laying in that bed, the bed will be made. You start. If you can't seem to do it all 7 days of the week, you can say, okay, 3 days a week, I'm going to make sure my bed is made. If you never make up your bed, or 5 days a week, or if you're someone that always eat out and you want to start cooking, it's okay. I'm no longer going to eat out 7 days a week. I'm going to start cooking twice, 2 times in a week. Just small tasks and become intentional. And the biggest thing about discipline is consistency. Because the moment when you start constantly doing those things and constantly building those things, guess what happens? Your system becomes used to you doing that task, and you condition your system, you subject it into making sure that it's doing that task. You see what I'm saying? That even the day you don't get it done, it tells you, hey, something is wrong. You build it up until it becomes a habit. It becomes second to nature. So that's how you slowly build discipline. That's how you slowly incorporate discipline or develop discipline. Starting small. If you want to do it overnight, you're going to fail so bad, so miserably. You're going to fail so miserably because it becomes overwhelming. It's like saying that a child who cannot walk, that is still crawling, still sees people running and they don't want to get up and run. There's no way. There's no way. They have to go through the process. Maybe they crawl and then they struggle. They start standing and falling, but they have to go through that process of growth until they gain the muscle that is strong enough to keep them going. Hopefully I got your question and I gave you the response that you need, and that will help you, Deja. And thank you all so very much for tuning in today. I am Nora Sakal. This is our world today. Next week, we're going to continue with law number 6, which is the law of environment. This one is so amazing. I love this. This is one of my favorite laws ever. Law of environment. Growth thrives in conducive surroundings. So I'll see you next week. Please remember to go to our YouTube channel, Out Media, OWT Media on YouTube. Subscribe, like, share. On our Facebook page, PMI World Today. PMI World Today. You can send us an email at Our World Today CLF at gmail.com. Our World Today CLF at gmail.com. And you can find me also on YouTube at Nora Sakal. Thank you so very much. You have a wonderful day. Remember, be productive and not just be busy. I will see you on Monday, same time, same place. Again, I am Nora Sakal. Have a wonderful day. I love you dearly. Bye bye.